Cheers, I do buckaroos, and how the heck are you? Anyway, I digress. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, at this particular moment. Hey, I thought I'd finish this off the same way I started it off. Pendergast Royal Gold Cast Finish Bourbon from Tomstown Distillery in KC. The first drink I made from this was a Manhattan, so I figured that's where I ought to end it. And here's why I use this bourbon of this particular caliber to make a Manhattan, is because, well, at their distillery, this is the bourbon they use to make the Manhattan. I use their double oak. It works fine in a Manhattan. But man, this whiskey is special. But it is so special that it really should be drank neat. However, it just makes an incredible Manhattan. So here's how my Manhattan is here as opposed to what they're doing there, because I don't know exactly what ingredients they're using except for the bourbon. But I use this bourbon. I use a good quality sweet vermouth. I used about a quarter ounce. I've got 2 ounces of the bourbon in here. I've got about half a dozen shakes of some Regan's Orange Bitters. And I've got 2 Luzardo cherries in there. And the only thing I could tell you is the taste that I have here is pretty damn close to what they're serving there. So I think I'm close in ingredients. I don't know if I'm right on the money, but I know I'm in the neighborhood. And I am 50-something years old. I'm 54, so I know I'm not a young guy. However, my tastes do tend to run for more classic cocktails, even cocktails before my time. Believe that or not. I'm just not a fan of trendy cocktails, even cocktails that, even old school cocktails that have become trendy again. For instance, I'm really not a fan of an old fashioned. I think it's a little too sweet for me, and I think I just don't really dig cocktails that are trendy. I don't dig anything that's trendy. Because I think when things become trendy, it's not because they were good. It's because, well, I mean, somebody's trying to piggyback on something, and I don't jump on bandwagons. I guess the point I'm trying to make here with all that nonsense is I've always been a Manhattan drinker, whether it becomes trendy or not. And this is absolutely gorgeous. It does. Here's the thing, though. It runs about $50 a bottle, and the quality of this bourbon is well, it's with those that I paid twice as much for. It really is. I really think this product's that good. So part of me hates to use it in a cocktail, but then again, part of me loves it because, well, hell, that's how they made it there at the distillery. And it really is that good. However, when I use their other product at $40 a bottle, their double oak, it's very good as well. But I remember when I had the product, when I had the cocktail at the distillery, one thing I noticed is how dry it finished. And only 2 things could come from that, but mostly it's the bourbon. I asked him specifically, this finish is drier than any Manhattan I've ever had. I'm going to assume it comes from the bourbon, and he said yes. The only other explanation for that is that they probably don't use quite as much sweet vermouth as other places do to try to dilute their bourbon down. It did taste as if they used about a quarter ounce, and I know some places will put more than that in. Bottom line, damn, I just love this cocktail. I do, because it has some flavor. You know, you've got the vermouth, you've got the bitters, you got the 2. I got the proper cherries in there, Luzardo cherries, and I've got a bourbon of, wow, I mean, exquisite caliber. I mean, it just makes a nice drink. For me, this is one of those classic cocktails, and I probably am a man out of time. There are a lot of things that I like that aren't necessarily trendy. Oh, I got that fly. I guess I just am that guy, so there you go. I am Tom, the Whiskey Whisperer, Whiskey Evangelist, prolific whiskey drinker, pervert wisdom man, a man who just loves a Manhattan, and this whiskey just makes an incredible Manhattan. So The very first drink I made from this bottle was a Manhattan, so I thought it fitting that the very last drink I made from this bottle was also a Manhattan. Cheers, y'all. Biscuits, that's good. I'm going to miss this whiskey. Whew, you have no idea.